Ken, you just said people that know what they're doing do well, and people that don't know what they're doing don't do well. What's the difference between knowing what to do versus what not to do in your experience? What have you learned over the last 26 years?
Yeah, the number one thing is people, they feel like this business can be played at 30,000 feet, and you can't. Like, if you've been doing it a long time, you understand what's going on the ground, and you can play at 30,000 feet, but you can't do that in the beginning. And I'm a CPA by background, commercial lender by background. So I get into the weeds, right? Because everything in the world is about the details. And so that's what they miss. They don't want to do that work. John Maxwell said, I heard him say, people want to do what you do, but they don't want to do what you did. And it's the thing that I did, the thing that we did, the thing that, well, it wasn't me, it was John. And he nailed it. I mean, he's dead on. They just don't want to do that work. They don't want to get into the weeds. They don't want to figure out all the numbers. And if you do that, I mean, it's like any business, right? If you're going to be in business, you ought to understand it like really well, especially if you're going to ask somebody else to give you money to do it. So that's the number one thing, that when I say people don't know what they're doing, they don't get into the weeds, right? Because you guys have been doing this a long time. If an investor asks you a question, you know what's going on the ground. And you know the answer. You ask me whatever you want, I'll tell you, right? Because you know. But if you're new and you haven't gotten into the weeds, now investors come in and ask questions, and they fall apart because they don't know the details. So that's the number one thing.
Another way to say that 30,000 foot view piece is to treat it as a business and not an investment. That's if you're going to be a GP, or if you're going to be buying deals on your own. And I think that's where so many people falter, is that, I'm going to go invest in real estate. No, you were buying a business. That's where folks really, really screw up. And it's like, this is a side hustle, or this is something easy. No, this is a business. Treat it that way, and it will repay you, and you will flourish. If not, you're going to face the consequences.
100%. Yep. I just don't know why people don't understand.
Because they think it's an investment, though. They think it's like putting money in the stock market with maybe a little bit more headache. It's a business, guys. You are buying a business. Okay. This is like the basic private equity play across the board. But it's sort of like the foundational one, right? There's a little less nuances with it, but it's management intensive. So
it is. Agreed. That's why we self-manage. That's the other reason we self-manage, because we understand the business. We grew up in Cleveland. So when you start in Cleveland, there's nobody investing in Cleveland from outside. So we had no choice. We had no third-party managers. So we grew up managing our own stuff. So we kind of learned it.
And it's impossible to have successful third-party in Cleveland, right? Everyone knows Cleveland's a tough market, and you got to just do it yourself, right? Because no one's taking that pain on.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't exist.
I've never been to Cleveland. I'd be smart ass right now, but I'm sure that's the way it is.
If you like the content that we've shared here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell. So thank you again, and have a wonderful day.